In a world seemingly driven by visible forces, the hidden currents of geopolitics shape our present and future in ways we might not even realize. These covert influences, though often overlooked, are instrumental in steering the course of nations and their relations with each other. The invisible hand of geopolitics is, in fact, a complex web of interconnected factors, each with its own profound impacts. Our journey begins with technological dominance. In the era of rapid digitization, nations vie for leadership in groundbreaking fields like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotechnology. This contest transcends mere economic prowess. It's a play for geopolitical control. Nations that lead in technological innovations hold the reins of global norms, standards, and policies. We then delve into the pressing issue of climate change and resource scarcity. As Earth's temperature rises and resources dwindle, nations scramble for access to essentials like water, minerals, and fertile land. This scramble is reshaping trade routes, amplifying international interest in the Arctic, and intensifying competition in water-scarce regions like the Middle East. Next, we explore the evolving nature of power. Gone are the days when military strength was the sole yardstick of a nation's might. Today, soft power culture, political values, and diplomacy is increasingly significant. Countries like South Korea, with its global cultural exports, and China, with its Belt and Road Initiative, are prime examples of this shift. We then turn to the silent battlefield of cyber warfare, where nations employ advanced cyber capabilities to spy, steal secrets, and disrupt adversaries. The repercussions of cyber warfare on democratic processes came to light during the 2016 US elections, leading to heightened vigilance worldwide. Finally, we discuss the rising influence of non-state actors. Corporations, terrorist groups, and NGOs are no longer on the sidelines. They are central players in international affairs, wielding influence that often rivals that of nations. Today, we're peeling back the layers to uncover the hidden secrets shaping geopolitics. As we delve deeper, we uncover a world that is intricately woven and endlessly fascinating, revealing the unseen forces that shape our shared destiny. First on our list is technological dominance. This is the new frontier of geopolitics, and the stakes couldn't be higher. We're living in an era where technology is no longer just a tool. It has become the very fabric of our societies. It's transforming economies, shaping politics, and redefining power structures. The nations that lead in key areas such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotechnology command an extraordinary influence. It's not just about having the most advanced gadgets or the fastest internet. It's about setting global norms, defining standards, and shaping policies. Technological dominance equates to geopolitical power. Let's take a closer look at some key players. Companies like Google, Apple, and Huawei are not just technology firms. They're global powerhouses, often finding themselves at the intersection of technology and politics. These companies are not only shaping our digital future, but they're also influencing the course of geopolitics. But what happens when nations view technological supremacy as a strategic imperative? Well, look no further than the ongoing tussle between the US and China. These two behemoths are locked in a fierce competition for technological dominance. For them, it's not just about economic prosperity. It's about national security, global influence, and ultimately, survival in the digital age. In this high-stakes race, technology is the battlefield, innovations are the weapons, and data is the ammunition. And this is just the beginning. As technology continues to evolve at a blistering pace, this race is only going to intensify. The nations that can harness the power of technology, that can innovate faster and adapt quicker, will steer the course of the 21st century. So there you have it. Technological dominance isn't just about having the latest gadgets or the fastest internet. It's about much more. It's about power, influence, and control. It's about shaping the world in your image. And as we move further into the digital age, it's clear that technology will continue to play a decisive role in global politics. Both nations view technological supremacy as a matter of national security. Next is the impact of climate change and resource scarcity. Climate change, once a distant threat, is now a present reality, and it's reshaping the geopolitical landscape. As our world warms, glaciers melt, and sea levels rise, we're witnessing a dramatic shift in resource availability. The scarcity of resources, particularly water and arable land, is becoming a pressing concern for nations worldwide. Consider the Arctic, for example. As the ice melts, previously inaccessible trade routes are opening up, sparking a new kind of Cold War. Nations like Russia and China are showing keen interest in these routes, as they offer shorter distances for trade and access to untapped resources. This scramble for the Arctic is just one example of how climate change is creating new geopolitical hotspots. But it's not just about the Arctic. The effects of climate change and resource scarcity are far-reaching. As temperatures rise, agricultural productivity is at risk, particularly in regions already struggling with food security. This could lead to increased competition for arable land, further stoking tensions between nations. Then there's water, the lifeblood of our planet. As the global population grows and our climate continues to change, water scarcity is becoming a critical issue. In fact, by the middle of this century, the United Nations predicts that nearly 2/3 of the global population could be under water stress. This escalating water scarcity is already intensifying competition and exacerbating tensions in regions like the Middle East, where access to water has long been a contentious issue. It's a stark reminder of the potential for resource scarcity to fuel conflict and instability. So as we look to the future, it's clear that climate change and resource scarcity will continue to play a significant role in shaping geopolitics. The nations that can effectively navigate these challenges, that can innovate and adapt, will be the ones to hold the reins of power in the years to come. Water scarcity in places like the Middle East is intensifying competition and exacerbating tensions. The third hidden secret is the changing nature of power itself. Traditional definitions of power often revolve around military might, economic strength, and political dominance. But today, we're seeing a shift in this narrative. Power is no longer solely about who has the most soldiers, the largest economy, or the most political clout. Instead, it's about influence and the ability to shape the world around you. Enter the age of soft power. Soft power, a term coined by Joseph Nye, is the ability to shape the preferences of others through appeal and attraction rather than coercion or force. It's about the power of attraction, not the attraction of power. It's about winning hearts and minds, not territories or resources. It's about being admired and respected, not feared or despised. Countries around the world are beginning to recognize the importance of soft power and are investing heavily in their cultural industries, diplomatic initiatives, and international aid programs. They are leveraging their cultural assets, from music and movies to food and fashion, to project a positive image of themselves and win over global audiences. Take South Korea, for example. Over the past 2 decades, South Korea has risen from relative obscurity to become a major player on the global stage, largely thanks to its successful export of K-pop music and films. This successful cultural export has not only boosted South Korea's economy, but also its global influence and reputation. On the other hand, China, a country traditionally associated with hard power, is also investing heavily in soft power. Its Belt and Road Initiative, an ambitious infrastructure project spanning across Asia, Europe, and Africa, is a clear example of this. It's not just about building roads and railways, but about building relationships and influence. It's about creating a network of countries that are economically and politically aligned with China. So, as we move forward into the 21st century, it's clear that the nature of power is changing. It's no longer just about military might or economic strength, but about influence and attraction. It's about who can win hearts and minds, not just battles and wars. Meanwhile, China is investing heavily in its Belt and Road Initiative, aiming to increase its influence through infrastructure and investment. Fourth is the silent battle of cyber warfare. This invisible battleground has become a pivotal arena in global politics. In this digital age, power is not just about military might or economic strength. It also lies in the ability to control and manipulate information. Nations are investing heavily in cyber capabilities, using them to spy, steal secrets, and disrupt adversaries. The world got a jolt of reality with the 2016 US elections, when alleged foreign cyber interference highlighted the potential impact of cyber warfare on the democratic process. It served as a wake-up call, putting a spotlight on the growing threat of cyber attacks. As we continue to rely more on digital infrastructure, the stakes in this silent battle only get higher. Today, nations are on high alert, constantly defending against and launching cyber attacks. The silent battle of cyber warfare rages on, shaping geopolitics in ways we are only beginning to understand. Last but not least, we have the rising influence of non-state actors. In the complex game of geopolitics, it's no longer just about nations. Corporations, terrorist organizations, and non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, are stepping onto the global stage and shaping the course of international affairs. Corporations, armed with vast resources and technological prowess, often have influence that rivals some nations. Their decisions can have ripple effects across the globe, impacting economies and societies. Terrorist organizations, on the other hand, pose significant challenges to global security. Their actions not only shape international security agendas, but also compel nations to reassess their strategies and alliances. Meanwhile, NGOs play a critical role in highlighting and addressing global issues. They are key players in areas like human rights, environmental protection, and humanitarian aid, often stepping in where governments may fall short. In this intricate web of geopolitics, NGOs are key players in areas like human rights and environmental protection. To sum up, there are various hidden forces shaping geopolitics today: technological dominance, climate change and resource scarcity, the changing nature of power, cyber warfare, and the role of non-state actors. These elements, often overlooked, are vital to the ebb and flow of international relations. They dictate the rise and fall of nations, influence global norms, and redefine power. Understanding these forces is key to understanding the complex and ever-changing world of geopolitics.